Hi, thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to listen to my speech. This assignment is based on who are you, is basically what this assignment is. So why are you the way you are, or a hobby that you do? So for me, I'm choosing how I became who I am through the Army. So if I were to ask every single one of you why or how the Army changed you as a person, whether it be working for an Army installation or being in the Army, every single one of your answers would be different. Would there be similarities? Yes. Similarities, yes. Like, oh, I'm stronger, or I'm more motivated. But the beginning to end factor is going to be so much different because we all grew up in different ways. We all came from different homes, different backgrounds, different experiences. So that beginning to end is going to be so much different. So I'm going to be talking about how it changed for me. So before I joined the Army, who I was at my beginning getting into the Army, and then who I am now. So before I joined the Army, I was a teenager. Okay, so I worked part-time jobs. I grew up with the wrong people sometimes. You know, we have those friends that are super bad influences on us. You know, I wasn't good with money. I didn't have college figured out. I had none of my life figured out. I was 17. And I knew I wanted to do medical, and the Army was kind of a part of my mind at that time. So I decided, why not? You know, even though I didn't have self-discipline, you know, I was this weak 17-year-old girl. And, you know, I knew it was going to be difficult, but I had no idea how hard it was really going to be. So I met with a recruiter, and we did all the paperwork, and then I went to MEPS. And that was an experience all in itself. And I learned a lot about myself, and I was, as many of you guys know, I was disqualified at that point. And so that, you know, that hurt my self-esteem, but it also made me feel even more motivated. You know, and so I had a very early experience with the Army. I had to learn that I had to fight for what I wanted, you know, so I did. That's exactly what I did. And so it brings me to my second point, which is how much just that little experience with the Army, just that one weekend, made me feel so more motivated, and the need to, you know, really get out there and be like, no, this is what I want to do. Like, you need to put me in here. You know, I wanted it so bad. So I did. I went out there and I wrote congressionals, and I did speeches kind of like this. I, you know, fought for myself, and it helped me grow my self-esteem, and it gave me a little bit more self-discipline to, you know, be able to control my feelings, you know, and not just give up. And so that early experience of the Army already pushed me to be so much better. And so when I finally got in, which was in 2017, almost 2 years later after fighting, you know, I got in and I was like, oh, sweet, you know, we're going, and I was nervous, but I was also excited, but I had no idea how much the physical and the mental part of it was going to change who I was, you know. And so going through basic, they had just opened up a lot of stuff to females, and going to basic, there were so many males, and it was so hard to keep up. You know, they were stronger than me, they were faster than me, they undermined me, or whatever the case was. And it just pushed me even more to become someone, to look past who I was, to look past the teenager that was still there. I was only 19 at this time, so who was still there, who was still this partier, who worked at bars, who, you know, worked part-time jobs, had no money all the time because I spent it. And it made me look past that and really push to who I wanted to be, and a goal that I wanted to do and set for myself, and to get that self-discipline that I learned during basic, and, you know, just the self-motivation, and to be like, I can be better than who I was before. It really pushed me to, and looking back, I feel like I'm such a different person in the fact that I've grown up. I'm not a kid anymore, you know. I'm not as childish, you know. I really learned that I had to step up and be this next person if I wanted to make a career for myself. If I wanted to, you know, show my kids when I have them that, you know, you can do what you want, you just have to set your mind to it. You just have to push for it, you know. Just because you get one no doesn't mean that it's no forever. Just because you get 3 no's or 5 no's, you know, I got told no tons of times until they finally said yes. You know, I got a voicemail and it said, you're getting in the Army. You know, we have your packet set up, let's go. And I left 1 week later. And that was it. That was the beginning of this huge mental and physical journey. And if I hadn't have joined the Army, then I don't know where I would be right now, but I wouldn't be this strong, independent person that I am. And so that is my speech, and I want to thank you guys so much.